Hello, everyone. Good
Oh, boy.
morning. You're live. Welcome to the Nursing School Show.
Ask us
Happy
anything.
Monday to everyone out there.
Matthew has his voice today.
Yes,
I lost mine.
Christina, not so much, but we are going to do this. Welcome to joining. Welcome here today for
Hello.
Ask Us Anything. So go ahead, pop in the comments below, say hello, how are you guys doing? And
I'm sick. by the
ask
way.
any of your nursing school related questions. We will get to them.
Yes, we will.
Happy March,
Good
by the
morning,
way,
everyone. Good morning.
Good to see everyone. We were
Yeah.
off last week from doing these lives, but we are back. We are on Monday and Wednesday mornings at this time. So be sure to join us. Be sure to ask us your questions on nursing school. We are here to help.
Yep.
More Christina than me, but I will try to add some flavor
Hello.
or whatever. So yes, join
Matthew's
us.
here for the flavor.
I'm here for the flavor.
That's funny.
So
Yes.
where
were
are you
on
joining
our
us from
season
as
break
well?
last week. Thank you.
Mhm.
I hope that I feel better.
Watching from the Philippines.
Hello.
That is the land from which I hail. Hello. Hello.
You're starting off good today.
Yes.
Oh, it's so funny. Oh, that's hilarious. Oh, friends, this is funny. Oh, man. Okay.
Let us know. Hello, YouTube as well. YouTube and Instagram. We are on both of you guys at the same time.
Hi,
Also,
New York.
for all those that are new to joining us, be sure and subscribe, hit the bell, follow, all of those social media and YouTube things. Go ahead
That's
and
a great
do that.
question. How to study for NCLEX by yourself? Let's write that one down.
Okay, how to?
Okay, the first thing, so we have a couple questions from before we went on break last week for our season break. So we take a season break periodically. This is a new season. I don't know what season number it is, but this is some kind of season of the nursing school show. So welcome, friends. The first thing I want to talk about that we got a really good question a couple weeks ago was, what are your thoughts on working during nursing school? Someone
what
asked
are your
me.
thoughts about working in nursing school? And that is a
Yeah.
question that we get quite a bit
all the time.
because sometimes your nursing school will say or recommend one thing and you're not sure, so you ask. So yes,
They'll
what
pretty
are
much
your thoughts
always tell me
on
no.
working during nursing school? And also, while Christine is sharing her thoughts, why don't you guys share your thoughts? What are your thoughts?
Yeah.
Or what have you heard about working in nursing school?
Mm.
We will jump into that.
Yeah, have your instructors told you that you can or cannot work? Like, typically, it's like they always tell you that you can't. And, okay, friends, really, here's where I fall on basically anything in the world. If someone tells me I can't do something, you best believe that I'm going to do it. So I worked during nursing school. That's just how it was. And I totally think it's possible. Although I will say that it does take a lot of discipline. Like, you can't be scrolling on Instagram. You just can't, because there's just not time, right? You have to really focus on the things that matter, and that is either working or going to nursing school and studying, right? So you can't be like just doing random stuff just because, like, in nursing school, especially working, we weren't like watching TV. We still don't watch TV. We weren't like doing whatever normal people do, I guess. I don't know what normal people do. We don't do half the things normal people do. So seriously, it's like you just have to really make sure that you're disciplined, and I believe that you can totally do it.
So a bloom for Jesus. I work full time in nursing school. Eccentric on Instagram also says that you're making it happen. What did you say? It's extremely hard. Where are you? Where are you? Okay.
Yeah.
Extremely hard, but I'm making it happen. Yeah.
Not enough time and sleepless nights.
So really, it's all about priorities, right? And what are your priorities? And if you want to do nursing school and work, it is definitely possible. It is a season, like we say, nursing school is a season, and if you're going to be doing that, you'll need to make sure that you prioritize that. And does that mean some other things might not get done or will be done to a lesser degree during this season? Possibly.
Yeah.
But you need to make that judgment call and weigh for yourself. But it's not like a blanket answer. No, you cannot work. Do not work. Right?
Right.
It's not something like that. Like we hear instructors say, "Oh yeah, it's impossible to." Well,
Right.
no, it's just what you decide to do and how you decide to do things and what you prioritize as well.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah, I think most
yeah.
people's schools tell you that you can't work.
Mm-hmm.
Kimberly. Yeah. Hey,
It's
Kimberly.
literally work, school, eat,
Sleep.
sleep. Oops, no sleep.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's funny.
Totally. I think that so much of it comes down to really how much you have practiced being like dedicated or persistent or whatever
Mm-hmm.
the word is. Did we just lose our feed on Instagram?
I'm not
Sorry,
sure.
guys. I'm on. Maybe I need to turn on Wi-Fi on my phone.
Oh, sure.
I'm not on Wi-Fi
Yeah,
yet.
go ahead. Do that. There you go.
Okay,
Okay.
sorry, Instagram. We're coming back to you.
All right. Yeah, and I guess that's the other thing too. I was just thinking about what are your thoughts on this too? Again, like prioritization. Like, what are your priorities for nursing school? Is your priority
Yep.
for nursing school is to pass with all A's? Then obviously that will take more studying and take more time,
Right.
which means that other things will not get done.
Oh,
right?
there we are.
But
Instagram.
if it's
We got you back.
But if your goal
Sorry
is
about
to pass nursing school and make sure that you learn everything and are is a great nurse, but not necessarily get A's,
Yep.
then that will also give you the freedom to, okay, I got a B, that's okay,
Yeah.
right? And then gives you the space to say, okay, I studied this much and I was still able to work, I was still able to see my kids. I got a B. Is a B okay for me?
Right.
And if it is, then great, right? So, what are your expectations? What are your goals? And then use that as a measuring mark as well.
And it is interesting because when you are taking your prereqs, like A's are the standard. You really have to get straight A's to get into nursing school because so many nursing schools are so competitive.
Mm-hmm.
And so many nursing students are used to just getting straight A's. And then when you get to nursing school, like it's kind of a different mindset shift, right? You don't need straight A's anymore. And nor should that be the goal even. That shouldn't be the goal. You don't need to get straight A's in nursing school in order to pass, right? And especially if you're working, if you have little children, like that might not be an appropriate aspiration, right? Really, the aspiration is passing.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, especially if you've got young children at home,
Mm-hmm.
especially if you're working, that's fine. Like, give yourself a break.
Mm-hmm.
Seriously.
Nursing school is not everything. Like we keep saying, it is a season.
Yeah.
And yeah,
a bloom for
will,
Jesus.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it will pass.
it will pass.
So it is temporary. So don't put all your eggs into that basket and um, tie your idea of success or your idea of identity and how good you are, how much of a great person you are. Don't tie it to, oh, how well I do in nursing school.
Right, and like your grades. No one is ever going to ask you what grades you got in nursing school, like what your GPA is. Like none of your patients are ever going to ask you what grade you get in nursing school. They don't care. They just care if you're a good nurse.
Yes. And
right?
that is important. Yes. So you're there to learn. You're there to be a good nurse and learn to be the best nurse you can be. So really make that your priority and yeah, other than that, make sure that you prioritize time. So Ida, my only goal is to pass and get through. I'm a single mom and work full time. I'm struggling with time management.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's really what it takes. Like I said, like if you are really all in on working during nursing school, still wanting to spend time with your family. Like, so when I was in nursing school, I worked in nursing school, went to nursing school full time, and we take every Saturday off. We are Sabbath keeping Christians, so we take every Saturday off. That's just how it is for our family. That's like our normal rhythm of life. And so going into nursing school, we knew that. Okay, well, I'm not going to study, not going to work on Saturdays. So that's just how it was. So I needed to figure out a way to condense my studying work time during the other 6 days of the week so that I could take Saturdays off. And when you make that decision, my friend, like that is the key. You've got to make the decision that you're going to do that. And you have to go all in on that. And then, like that time management that you're saying, Ida May, like it is tough, but it's a lot easier once you actually make that decision that I am going to do this. And you'll find yourself wanting to scroll on TikTok or wanting to, just be on Instagram. You'll find yourself wanting to do those things that are distractions. But that's not an effective way to spend your time, right? You need to make sure that you're spending your time focused on nursing school things or focused on working or focused on your family. And that's really, it's like a total mindset shift, right?
Yeah. And that's really it. It's a mindset shift, and it's the dedication to your priorities and your decisions, right? Yeah. So we went in knowing, okay, just Saturday's not a study day, right? And so by just making that decision, now your brain has to think, like Christina said, how do I do this with the time that I have left? If you are on the fence and you're really not too committed with your decisions, what you say is, oh, well, I'll try my best, but there's always this extra time, and you'll find that you'll use up that extra time. You'll use what you have available. But if you make it up, if you've made that decision in your mind, okay, Saturdays is off limits, then you have to fit it in the 6 days. That's it.
Yeah, that's what you have.
If your decision is, okay, I need to work full time. So, okay, what time do I have left?
Right.
And I have to make that work.
And for so many students, that's not an option.
Yeah.
Like, you just have to work full time. Like, that's the only option. So you have to make it. You have to make it work. And you will make it work, but you have to make that decision.
Yeah.
Right? And you can't be succumbing to distractions and indulging in those things. It's very easy to get caught up in scrolling on Instagram or TikTok or whatever when you're supposed to be doing something else, like procrastination, right? If you don't want to do something, you will find something to distract you. But that's not a good way to run your life.
Yeah. So tactically speaking, Ida May, time management, one of the things that we do talk about is an hourly schedule. So tactically speaking, just to see where your time is going, because a lot of time that's the problem too, is we think that, oh, we don't have any time left, but we ever taken the time to step back and actually measure it or go through the practice of finding out where our time goes? Because guaranteed, like what Christina says, the scrolling or taking longer than it needs to take to walk to your car, or just it's going to be surprising if you have not done this. That time just escapes from you. It seeps away if you do not track it. So to get a good baseline of where you're at, could it be that you're out of time? Yes, it certainly could be that you're out of time, but you won't know until you actually measure it. 100%. So step one is to figure out where all your time is going. So how we recommend doing that is just an hour by hour schedule. Just go through and see how much time every little thing is taking.
Yes. It really, you are going to be so surprised when you start actually planning your time hour by hour, or even if you use just a regular planner. You're going to be so surprised at how much literal, actual free time you have if you do not indulge in distractions. And distractions come in a lot of ways, right? Social media, like a Bloom for Jesus you talked about. Social media is a huge detriment in nursing school. It's a huge distraction. Also, a huge distraction you guys will find is all the brain drama that you create for yourself. When you are sitting down to study, what is your brain telling you? Are you actually focused on studying, or is your brain thinking about the next exam and worried about passing? Not helpful, right? It is not helpful for you when you try to sit down to study and your brain just keeps telling you all the reasons you can't pass nursing school. That is not an effective way to study and focus, right? So you will be so surprised when you write down, like in your planner, or do your hour by hour schedule, however you manage your time, however you want to write it down. You've got to write it down, because if you don't, you will not find those pockets of time, because your brain's going to lie to you. Like, your brain's going to lie to you and tell yourself. Your brain's going to tell you that you don't spend any time on Instagram. But I know you're on Instagram right now. I know you're on YouTube right now, right? Seriously, you've got to write it down, and then you will actually see, wow, this is legitimately where my time is going. And I guarantee you that you are succumbing to more distractions than you realize. But you have to write it down. If you don't write it down, your brain can tell you all day, every day, oh, it's totally fine. Like, I don't indulge in distractions. You have to write it down.
Or 100% of my time is productive. Now, seriously, who can say to me with a straight face that 100% of your time is productive right now?
No way. No way. Even me, I struggle with this. Man.
So it is something everyone struggles with. It is something like everyone's talking about, I need to learn how to study, or time management, or anything like that. Everyone is going through this, so you are not alone. But there are also ways to overcome it and to get better at it.
Yes.
Right?
100%.
So, yes, that is...
Guilty of it. Yes, me too. I know, we're always lying to ourselves because we think we're doing better than we actually are. That's why you have to write it down. You seriously, like, I cannot even tell you, my friend. You've got to write it down, or it's just you're not gonna catch it. Because our brains are experts at getting away with things that it shouldn't. Yes, eccentric, we are all guilty of this to some degree. 100%. Hey, I got a couple questions on Instagram, and then one popped up on YouTube on patho of disease processes. So, a bloom for Jesus. You said you asked Nicole too. Are you a member? Because I will say different things. Actually, I'll just jam on it. So, if you are a Nursing Ossos member, the best way to learn pathophysiology is to pull up the patho videos inside our membership community. All right. So I know we have some members on Instagram too. You guys make sure that you are going into all the courses, right? We've got the cardiac course, respiratory, renal, GI. We have all the things inside the community for you. And all of those disorders have patho videos to them. And so that is the best way. And someone on Instagram, sorry, I forgot who it was because I scrolled up and I lost it. You were asking about complications.
Okay. Yeah, I saw that too.
Yeah. When you are studying the pathophysiology, here's how we teach patho inside our community. Anytime we teach pathophysiology, we're also teaching the complications because we break the patho down for you step by step. Like, here's what happens, then here's what happens, then here's what happens. So, like, if you have, let's say like heart failure or stroke or whatever, like, here's the trigger for heart failure, here's the trigger for the stroke, and then here's what happens next. And then here's what happens next. And then here's the next step. This is like, we break down pathophysiology so simple for you. And then at the end of those steps is the complications. Like, this is what could happen if heart failure is not resolved, or this is what could happen as a complication of stroke if it's not resolved quickly. Those things. So patho and complications really go hand in hand, because the complications are just going to be really what happens if it goes almost too far, right? What happens if the body is constantly in heart failure and the rest of the body isn't getting blood, right? What happens to the kidneys? What happens to the brain? All those things. Like in a stroke, what happens if the brain is not getting blood flow, right? Those are the complications. So inside our membership community, that's how we break down all of the patho videos for you. So all of the disorders that we have in the community all have a patho video. So you guys, if you're a member, just remember that. All right. And you've got all those there for you. Membership will open again in the spring, Item A. I don't have a date for you.
Just be sure to get on the VIP list.
Yeah.
And then you'll be the first ones to know.
Yeah.
So we are working on a lot of things. We have been very busy.
We have some fabulous,
so definitely
amazing things coming for you. mind-blowing things. You're
Definitely
gonna
jump
love it.
in that wait list, that
Yes.
VIP list, whatever you want to call it. Just jump on that list.
Yes.
So nursingschoolandsuccess.com/join.
The link is in my bio on Instagram.
Yeah.
And Matthew can probably put it here on
I
YouTube
guess I
for
can
you.
do that.
You can type it.
Sure.
Okay, and then if you are not a member, that's fine. Here's how you want to learn patho. Okay, you really want to. If you're not a member, you don't have access to all the videos and stuff we have inside the community. So you probably will be using your textbooks or your lecture slides or whatever your instructors give you. So here's what you're gonna want to do. You're gonna want to take your textbook or your lecture slides or whatever, and you're gonna want to break that pathophysiology down step by step. I think that is the most clear way to study pathophysiology. Patho can get really complicated when you try to learn it as like all together. Like here's the complications, here's the here's what's going on and all that stuff like all together. It's like our brains are wired for steps, right? Like people like steps. Like we like to know what happens and then what happens next, and like step 2, step 3, step 4. And so that is how we teach and have always taught pathophysiology. That's how I recommend that you learn it, is just because that's how our brains are wired. We like steps, right? So when you are going through pathophysiology of any disorder, okay, just try to think in terms of steps. What happens first? Like what's like exactly what I said. Like what's the trigger for stroke? What's the trigger for heart failure? What's the trigger for diabetes? And then what happens? And then what happens? Like what's step 2? And then what's step 3? And then what's step 4? Try to think of it that way, because that is really, really going to help you understand kind of the sequence of events, rather, instead of trying to learn it just all together, which gets really jumbled. Does that make sense? I just think that that's the best way to learn patho, and it's how we've always taught it, and how our members have really thrived with understanding it is doing it in this way, where you really understand, what happens first, second, third, and onwards. Yep.
Yeah, and again, this is the way we teach too, and this is what we always recommend. That is the first step in learning the diseases and the disorders, is learn the pathophysiology.
Yeah, actually, I saw that comment come through on Instagram. Someone commented and said that they saw that I recommend that you don't learn the patho. No. No. Here's the thing, you guys. You're not going to be directly tested on the pathophysiology, but you absolutely need to know it, because everything you're going to be tested on comes from the pathophysiology. So you absolutely have to understand the pathophysiology first before anything else. So don't misunderstand, all right? It's not that you don't have to know the patho because you're not going to be tested on it. No. You're not going to be tested directly on the pathophysiology. Like your nursing school exams are not going to test you on the pathophysiology of heart failure or stroke or diabetes, because we're talking about those ones. They're not going to test you directly on the patho of those things, but they will test you on the signs and symptoms of it, the nursing assessments for it, the nursing interventions for it, and all of those things come from the patho. You have to know the pathophysiology first, then you can critically think through all of the other things, the signs and symptoms, the nursing assessment, and the nursing interventions for all the disorders you need to know. It's just so much easier than memorizing a list of stuff. Yep.
Is our membership community only for RN, or can it also help LVN students as well?
Absolutely. Yeah. We've got tons of LVN and LPN students in our community. They love it.
Yeah, so definitely jump on that VIP list. We'll let you know when it opens.
Yep.
Let me see. Is there one of these guys that you want to
I'm glad that helped you, my friends.
Yes.
I'm glad you thought it was explained well.
A Bloom for Jesus also liked our stickers, so
Yay!
I'm glad you like the stickers. That is fun.
Matthew packs those boxes
I do
so
pack
well.
those boxes.
That's awesome. Okay, so all right, let's talk about this one. Failed my first LPN exam. I'm now feeling lost, and I don't know how to study and what to study and what to do different. That is a fabulous question. So this actually, for anyone whether you're in an RN program, an LPN program, doesn't matter. Here's what you do when you fail an exam. The first thing you need to do is go meet with your instructor. Every time. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Do it, okay? Meet with your instructor. Walk through your exam with them if they allow it, okay? If they allow you to walk through your exam, that is what you want to do, okay? That is going to be the best way for you to understand why you got things right, why you got things wrong, and to prepare yourself for the next exam. But not only that, you guys, really the final, because you will be so surprised at how many times the same test questions pop up on the final exam, and you have to know why you got them right or why you got them wrong, right? If you got them wrong on an exam, you don't want those same questions to pop up on a final because you're going to get them wrong again, right? Now they might be reworded a little differently, but it's going to be very similar, right? So it's so important that if you fail an exam or just don't do as well as you wanted to, that you meet with your instructor.
In general, it's just good to meet with your instructor. Say hi.
Yeah, we had a student back in December who I was working with pretty closely, and she she had barely failed her term. Like barely. By like 0.6 or something of a point. Like that's it. Like 0.6. And what I told her to do, I was like, okay, you better march your little booty right into your instructor's office. Go right now. Talk to your instructor. And she did, and her instructor passed her. And you guys, here's why her instructor did that, is because she had been following our advice, right? Talking to her instructor, showing her instructor how much she cares. And how, like, seriously, how dedicated you are. You have to show your instructor how dedicated you are and that you are not going to let anything stop you from passing. Really, like if you can talk to your instructor, like Matthew was just saying, talk to your instructor as often as you can.
Just imagine that from the instructor's point of view, right? This instructor is putting all their time and effort into teaching you as best as they know how on how to be the best nurse, and who knows how many people they're teaching, and no one comes and talks to them. No one actually shows that they're interested in the class, or that they are learning, or that the way that they're teaching is actually helpful for them. But you do. How much will that stick out to them, and how much will they remember? Oh, okay, this person, they just didn't quite get this, but they're on top of it. They're trying really hard. That's going to stick out in their mind, and they're going to help you, and they're going to want, most teachers want to help you succeed.
Yes.
And will make them feel like their job is worth it too, and that they are doing a good job. So
100%.
Be that person to go above and beyond, and show them that you are trying to learn the material, you are learning the material, and you just need a little help. Is it going to feel good, especially if you failed and you need to go ask for help? No, it's not going to feel good. And that's why people don't do it.
Yes.
That's why people do not do it. But that's all the more reason why you need to do it.
Never feel like you are a bother to your instructor. This is their job. I'm hearing an awful lot of daddies. Daddy. Do you guys hear that? Do you hear daddy, daddy out that door? So funny. They never want me. It's always daddy. So funny. Never feel like you're a bother. 100%. So when you are talking to your instructor, those are really what you want to do after your exam, is go through your exam with them if they allow that. Now, some students do tell us that your instructor doesn't allow that, and that's totally fine. Here's what you're going to do. You will go through your brain and remember back to that exam, and just remember, like, kind of keep track of, like, the questions that you got stuck on. Okay, so during your exam, like, think of the questions that you're getting stuck on. Hello.
Hi. Ugh.
And then go through those with your instructor. Like, if you got stuck on something about, I don't know, diabetes, signs and symptoms, or whatever, nursing interventions, then just go through that kind of concept with your instructor. Like, okay, here's what I know about diabetes nursing interventions. What am I missing? Because I got that test question wrong. Does that make sense? Okay, so you're going to want to do that. Then the second thing you're going to want to do is go through your study process with them. So inside our Nursing SS membership community, you guys have our study system. So go through, like, with your instructor how you are studying. Okay? If you're not a member, just walk through with them how you're studying for their class. And, really, like, step by step, tell them, this is what I'm doing. Like, I'm doing flashcards, or I'm going through lecture slides, or whatever you're doing, listening to the class recordings. Go through with them how you're studying for their class and ask for their feedback. So that they can, because they know how to best study for their class. They made it. They either wrote your exam or they know what's on the exam, right?
Mm-hmm.
So make sure that you are talking with your instructors early and often. Early and often.
Let them know that you're there. Let them know that you're there to learn and that you're doing your best.
Yes. So, friends, we'll be back with you on Wednesday. Hopefully, I have more of a voice on Wednesday. My voice is going out.
So we are back in the swing of things. Of lives. Mondays and Wednesdays on Instagram and
from
YouTube.
From our season break.
All of our previous lives are also up on YouTube. That's the best place to go back and look at them. So youtube.com/nursingsos. And then there's a little live tab that you need to go to that has all the lives.
Yeah.
So be sure to go there. Take a look. We keep getting questions, a lot of really good questions about the NCLEX. We've done a couple lives on the NCLEX and the new NCLEX and all that, so be sure to check that out. Mm-hmm. I'm sure we'll be talking about it more in the future as well.
Yeah, A Bloom for Jesus, what is the topic on Wednesday?
What is the topic on Wednesday?
I was just looking at our question list that you guys have submitted. So, like, if you have questions, just put them in the comments, and Matthew, like, copies them over to our list, our master list, and we just try to hit as many as possible. Mm-hmm. And if we don't get to those, then we roll them over for the next time, okay? So, I think on Wednesday, we'll definitely talk about the HESI, because we have a couple questions on that. I also want to talk about probably med-surg.
Yeah, all right, HESI and med-surg.
And, like, we can talk about care plans and NANDA stuff. If that's helpful.
Yes. Yeah, on YouTube also as well. Our couple previous YouTubes as well as the YouTube today is about care plans. So be sure to check that out if you have any questions or need an example walkthrough of care plans. The past couple ones have been really good about care plans. So subscribe, hit the bell. Mm-hmm. When that gets posted, it will let you know.
Ding! So when you are writing your care plans, just go to those videos on YouTube and then, use it, like, follow it as an example, because I literally walk you through how to write them.
Mm-hmm.
So
care plans are a must topic. Okay.
Yes.
So
awesome.
Definitely Ida and Mandy. Yeah.
Hello.
Definitely. Right after this, what you do, go to our YouTube, our main channel.
Yes.
And last week and the week before and just the past couple weeks, we've talked about walking through how to do care plans and then also a couple care plan examples. There's another one being posted today, right after we get.
Like 10 o'clock?
Yeah, usually
9 o'clock.
9 Pacific is usually when it posts. So right after this, I'm actually gonna make sure that that's all ready and scheduled. So that's another care plan walkthrough of an actual disorder. Yes. So go through, take a look at it, get ideas from it for sure, and then that will give you a good overview, a whole walkthrough of a whole care plan.
Manish Sharma. So nursing care plans, they are treatment plans. So that is the nursing treatment plan. Nursing care plans, the nursing model is different from the medical model. We don't have, like, treatment plans, we have care plans. And so we are, when you look at the columns of the nursing care plan, you'll notice that that's where you'll see the nursing interventions. They're all in those YouTube videos for you. So if you guys are struggling with writing your care plans for clinical, for your lecture class, whatever, you really want to check those out on YouTube, because they're really going to walk you through step by step how to write a care plan. Mm-hmm. Is Matt a nurse?
No.
No, he's not.
I am not a nurse. Thanks.
No, he's not.
I am not a nurse, but I do the other things.
Yep, he's pretty much in charge of everything else around here, which is so fun.
But definitely, yes, check those out because those
Yep.
are really really good for you, especially if you're talking about care plans and treatment plans and all that.
Yep.
Yep.
100%. Oh, friends, this was so fun. I'm glad. I think my voice is going to be toast today. If you're a member, I love how helpful he is. It's so funny.
Well, thank you.
Look at that. If you're a Nursing Us member, we have our coffee chat tonight. So we have me and Nicole, our lead nurse, will be on a call tonight, and then also I am scheduling.
Her office hours are open tonight.
Oh
too,
yeah,
right?
she has a tutor. So she has a tutoring call today and Thursday, and then I am going to do a coaching call, I believe, on Wednesday. So members, we have a lot happening this week.
Lots happening, guys,
make
and
sure that
a lot
you
more
join the
things
calls.
coming down through the pipeline. So
Yay!
if you guys are members, thank you for being members and for hanging on and enjoying all this new stuff that's coming out. If you're not a member, get on the VIP waitlist and join when it opens next.
100%. All right, friends.
All right, we'll see you on Wednesday.
Bye.
Take care, guys.
Same time, same place.
Okay.
See you there. Hopefully I have my voice back.
Bye.
Bye. Ta-ta.